We got to talk about it. Here's the thing. If you're going to be in the red zone and you're in the AFC East, or not, sorry, AFC Championship, AFC Championship game, why do you kick the field goal? And I'm going to be real honest. Now I get it. McDermott came out and said, well, we needed points. I want points. Yeah, but I want more points. You're facing the number one offense in the NFL. I get it. But what a terrible game. I mean, Allen threw for almost 287 yards. Didn't feel like it. He had almost not the greatest game. He looked lost out there. He was calling audibles. I didn't see the Josh I saw all season. And I'm not going to give credit to Nick Wright. Nick Wright, no, not at all.
He doesn't get credit.
Doesn't get any credit. But if you're a Bills fan, yes, it is a tough one. But here's the thing. I'm excited because we have a team that's still going to be around for next year. And you know what? They're going to learn. You know what? Stephon Diggs, you know what? He did sit and watched the Chiefs celebrate. That's motivation for next season. You know what? We're going to make it back there. What do you think?
I think so too. I'm excited about the future. I'm still proud of this team, proud of this organization, with the season we had, as sad as it is. I said it going into it going into the playoffs. I said, just get me a crack at KC. And if we lose to KC, I can accept it. And the thing is while I do agree, I believe in Allen, I believe in McDermott, I believe in the organization that we will be back.
Mm-hmm.
But it still just hurts because you never know. I mean, look at the Philadelphia Eagles. Luckily for them, they won their Super Bowl that they made it to. They won the Super Bowl.
They were the underdogs that season, right?
Yeah.
So
they won that Super Bowl. But what if they didn't? What if they came up short in that game? And you think like, oh, it's all right. Carson Wentz is, a great young quarterback. We're going to be fine. We'll be back here again. Was it 3-4 years later now? And they're a joke. Now, I'm not saying that's the path we're going down. I'm just saying you never know. All right? But I'm not saying that I think that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying I still believe in everyone with the organization right now. But, again, you never know. So I'm disappointed. I'm just whenever you're there,
down.
whenever you have
Come
the
on.
No,
Come
I'm
on,
just saying whenever
Al.
you have the chance, it sucks to come up short. It sucks to come up short. That's all I'm trying to say.
My biggest takeaway from this game is to beat Kansas City, you cannot be one-dimensional. So throwing the ball, that was our offensive plan all year. It's worked out for us. Allen was phenomenal. Diggs, Beasley, all those guys. But you look at Kansas City, when we played them during the regular season, they ran all over us. And then what did they do yesterday? They threw all over us. Kelsey, Hill, those guys were phenomenal. So it's going to be interesting to see what we do this offseason because, we didn't really have much of a run game, and whether if it was just scheme, our offensive line, our offensive line was great pass blocking, but not so much run blocking.
Hey, I got to love the fire that the team gave on the thing. Here's the thing. Chris Jones should have been knocked out of that game in the second quarter.
Yeah, how do you miss
that call?
Dirty.
It was dirt. That was dirty. And then what? And then Allen kind of just talked about
and then people are crying. And there are people
crying
crying about, dude, you threw the ball at him like it's a
the ball.
football.
He's wearing a helmet.
Yeah,
The ball weighs what, 3 pounds?
Yeah,
and they were crying about.
No, but here's the thing. I love that Feliciano, and I love how Deion Dawkins stood up for his quarterback. Yeah, he was showboating over him. Like, yeah, we get it. You tossed the football at his head. But here's the thing. I love that Feliciano and Dawkins showed their frustrations that yes, they were playing a dirty game, and Chris Jones should be even playing in 2 weeks.
And that says a lot too about the team because I don't know if you guys remember back in the regular season with the Dallas Cowboys when Andy Dalton took that nasty hit when he slid, and I think it was John Bostic hit him while he was sliding, knocked his helmet right off everything, and nobody on the Cowboys did a thing. But if someone does that to Allen, we know, Dawkins, Feliciano, they're be coming and they're gonna be looking to fight because that's culture right there. They're gonna stick up for their guy, and that just shows how close the team is.
Zach, what do you got on this?
There's two things I want to talk about. The first thing is the sequence of plays right after the Devin Singletary drop in the early second quarter. It was 2nd and 7 from our own 49. Allen floated one into Singletary's hands, and obviously he dropped it. We all know. But what happened after that, I think, is what really turned the tide and what was devastating for the Bills. Because then after that, it was 3rd and 7. Allen took that grounding penalty, and obviously grounding, you lose your down, so we punted. But the Chiefs, their 1st and 10 play was that Mecole Hardman 50-yard play. And then 3 plays later, they're in the end zone. Made it 14-9. And from that, they didn't look back. I think sometimes it's those little plays that can be. I'm not going to say that that's why we lost, but sometimes those are the little things that can turn the tide of games and really help or hurt you, and depending on either situation. The second thing I want to talk about is how well Kansas City disguised their coverages and their blitzes pre-snap, and made Josh overanalyze the line of scrimmage. Audible into a play that he thought was going to be good, and then right before the snap, Kansas City goes into their blitz scheme or coverage, and then they have Buffalo's play sniffed out. Happened all night. I noticed it during the game, and then obviously listening to stuff today that a lot of different people talked about how well Kansas City's defense schemed up Buffalo's offense.
That's like the whole thing with they knew like we were going to try to win the game with throwing the ball all game. So they're like, if we shut down Allen, they're not going to run the ball. Mm-hmm. And Kansas City, I believe, has the 19th or 20th rush defense in the league. But I think they knew coming into this game that we were going to be looking to throw the ball. So
Allen had his rushing yards. He had 88. But most of them came on scrambles. But I think that's where Josh really excels a lot is the scramble game. But you can only do that so much without having, backs out of your backfield being able to carry the ball.
That drop really, I think, changed the game.
Yeah.
To that point, we weren't dominating, but we were,
not even winning, in control, but we were starting to drive.
Yeah, exactly. He makes that catch. He had a lot of green ahead.
I was going to say, nobody was there.
Green ahead. That's a first down and more, and
you're in
you
Casey's
set up
territory.
to go up. It would have been 3 scores at that time.
Yeah, it would have been 3-quarter score lead.
You can't make mistakes like that against the Chiefs.
No.
It's again, like you said, that's not the only reason we lost, but the game wasn't the same from that point on.
No, it's here's the thing. We're understand. We're Bills fans. We were there. It was the season that we thought, what, it's our time. It was our time. Of all the times we've been knocked out, we finally were there. It was heartbreaking because we thought this was going to be the season. But here's the thing: the Bills are going to be back, and you know what? They're going to be back. I think next
100%.
year we might get that one more piece that's going to even make us even more great.
Well, one last thought is, remember when KC was on the rise and they met New England in the AFC Championship game a few years ago?
Yep.
That was that heartbreaking loss in overtime. Well, what happened the year after? KC rose to the top and they took over. So let's see how we respond next year.
Yeah, we'll see how we see, because McDermott does a great job of drafting, and Brandon Beane, they do a great job of drafting. So I know there's a good class coming up. So
2 words.
What's your 2 words?
Super Bowl.
Oh, hey, you made it this far. Hey, you might as well give us a like, or you might as well subscribe too. Please?
Please?